I just got the phone that, hey, these assholes are doing something. So it should show up. And sweet. Come on. I think it's giving us a delay.
Yeah,
So,
that's what it seems like.
yep. But right now we are live, and hello and welcome to the Tenno Two Drink Minimum, brought to you by the Console Casuals. I will be one of your hosts today. I am Cazz of the Console Casuals, one half of the Console Casuals, and today I am joined by the other half of the Console Casuals.
A guy who works too much. Yep.
ShotFace
I have like 3 jobs. One of them is watching you on a daily basis, making sure you don't stick a fork in a light socket.
And today we actually have a very, very special guest.
Yay!
TygaStripe.
TygaStripe. TygaStripe.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you on. Well, it's usually a pretty fun experience for at least us, to bounce different concepts off of it, and that's kind of what the whole experience of the Tenno Two Drink Minimum is. When we wanted to make it, was just us sitting around having a conversation.
Hold on one sec. We gotta double check our audio settings. I don't think Tyga's actually coming in. That was yeah, usually when I go quiet, yeah, through the feed on the stream. So yeah, I would say let's do that real quick.
Okay. And
it didn't sound like it, but I will double check the feed again.
Okay.
And also, Encore is in the chat. What is good, Encore?
What's going on, man? Glad to have you back. But yeah, that's I'll go ahead and fill space, I guess, while we're waiting here to double check audio. But Tenno Two Drink Minimum has mainly been a thing that me and Cazzy and ShotFace have kind of made as a way for us to kind of just talk about the game, bring community members together and talk and have a good time talking about the games that we love. The Tenno Two Drink Minimum, we call it that because we are primarily Warframe players, and we primarily talk about Warframe because that's kind of the game that we're really into, and the game that we've been I've been playing for 3 years, he's been playing for 2. Kaz has been playing for 2. Tyga, how long have you been playing Warframe? I'm curious. Damn. Right on. Cool, cool, cool. Yep.
Right. Bad
For
news,
sure.
bad news, bad news. Tyga is not coming through on stream. We can hear him in the chat just fine. And our audio is fine for him, but apparently he is not coming through on YouTube. Yeah, even Encore confirms, can't hear him.
Okay.
Poop. Alright, audio. Always with the audio. Unfortunately, I would say...
if you want to go back and check those, the same place you were before, check those 3 boxes, make sure they're all checked, because we've had issues with this with a past, one of our friends that tried to come on, so...
Yeah.
Right.
Chat audio. Allow your voice to be shared. Allow always. Yeah. If you go into the actual party and hit party settings for yourself,
that could be part of it too.
Tyga, that might be it, because there is a separate series of settings in the actual party. In the party menu, there's party settings.
So we did find it.
So hit allow, and I'll double check real quick while you guys chit chat.
Yeah, I fully take the blame on that one. I didn't actually think of that because again, we always have audio issues, and there's on PlayStation there's 1,000 different things, so I take full responsibility for that. I did not think about that, but we're gonna go ahead and start this gameplay background. This is of course isn't Warframe, but we're gonna start this just so you guys have something to watch while we kind of bullshit and talk a little bit. But so, how long have you been for the group now? If we get good audio. How long have you been playing Warframe?
I've been playing Warframe for about a couple years. Again, I started on the PS4.
Okay.
So I ended up transitioning to PC, and you know, when you have to start over on Warframe, it's already a grind and a half. It was a task to start all the way over. So it's been... I kind of want to condense gameplay time as well. When somebody asks me how many hours I put into the game, It's like, hold on, let me switch on my PS4 so I can tally those up too. In my
Right.
opinion, that count.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Totally, because I mean that's playing with the system, that's playing with all the different stuff.
absolutely. And I didn't enjoy being behind in the times as a content creator on console, so
Right.
I felt like the big move, it kind of needed to happen.
Right, and we feel that a lot of the being a little bit behind on the updates and stuff, and just kind of feeling a little bit behind on everything. And granted, for a lot of things that doesn't matter quite as much, but for a lot of the build videos, a lot of the new thought weapon videos, that does matter a lot. So,
Okay.
um,
All right. So audio is good, but I'm super sorry, Tyga. Can you bring your audio up one more time? And Luke, you could actually stand to come down a little bit.
can I? Okay.
Sensitivity?
Yeah. Also be because mine and Luke's audio are actually a little bit higher than normal.
Yeah.
When we stream, we actually go a little bit higher just so we get decent pickups. Because I know I'm using an Astro, he's using a Snow Globe, and the pickups aren't actually all that great all the time.
Yeah.
Especially on console. So. I mean,
And so, while that's going on,
Okay, yeah.
this is the Tenno Two Drink Minimum, and we do it's a 2-drink podcast, so it is a drinking podcast. And right now, Tyga isn't going to be drinking because he's a grown up and actually has real grown up stuff to do. But me and ShotFace are going to be drinking because we're juvenile delinquents, as always. And so my question to you,
I'm older than both of y'all, just so we're clear. And I've been drinking longer than half your life, so you ease up.
You
but-
don't look it. You look about, I'd say, 26.
I was going to say
Everybody
12.
says that.
I was going to say
Genes.
12.
You got good genes.
But so today I am drinking Sonic Screwdrivers, which is 1/3 Red Bull, 1/3 orange juice, 1/3 vodka, and of course my favorite Tito's. So what are you drinking tonight, ShotFace?
I am actually drinking a little bit of the earlier I had a little bit of the Bad Bitch rum, which you had. That was from Key West. And I've moved on to the Monkey Shoulders whiskey that we have downstairs. It's a bourbon, rather, that we have downstairs. It's really, really good. I dig it.
Cool.
And
Sounds like
all
a
of
good
my
time.
friends are out at a Scotch bar right now. I could be there, but I'm here with you. Luckily for you, there's somebody cool in the party chat. So.
Fair enough.
I am partaking in a lukewarm soda, Mountain Dew.
Right on.
For those of you that don't know.
Right on.
Go for some ice cubes, but you know.
Don't gotta water it down. You gotta
It
keep
is
pure.
what it is.
You gotta keep it pure.
That's right.
But, so, the next order of business on the Tenno Two Drink Minimum, which we've been keeping as a constant little bit, is what have we been playing this week? So, I've been playing a lot of Paragon. I played actually a little bit of Fury, even. I got a hankering for it. And for those of you who don't know, Fury is a boss battle bullet hell game. It's kind of this art thing it's real interesting and kind of odd, but it is a very bullet hell, like, precise kind of movements and avoiding different things and being just right on the money with counters and things like that. It's very interesting. It's really cool.
It's a boss rush game.
And it was free a while back for PlayStation Plus members when I picked it up. I think it's like $20.
I don't know what kind of game it would be like. I don't know.
Is it just its own thing?
Yeah,
it's it's a boss rush game in which all you do are fight bosses, and then the narrative takes place in between each boss battle. Sorry.
The same artist that
but
did
it's-
Afro Samurai is part
he's
of this
the
game.
art director. He's essentially
okay.
the entire designer for the visual style of the game, and the music is amazing in
Yes,
that game.
it is very driven
I
by the
played it a
music
while
and the
back.
soundtrack. It is really fun to play. It is very driven.
Yeah.
A very cool game. So that's what I've been playing. I got a hankering for it. What have you guys been playing? ShotFace?
Oddly enough, I finally got around to sitting down and playing Season 11 of Diablo. I got my D3 on. I finally started a Necro for the season, so I'm feeling really good about that. And I hooked up with my old Halo crew last night and did a couple rounds of Halo 5. Felt really good playing some old BRs. So that's where I'm at. Other than that, Warframe and obviously Paragon, just because of the V42 just dropped and what's going on with all that. So
which we'll eventually get into.
Right.
Yeah. So Tyga,
Cannot
what
find your
aside
sword.
from streaming, Warframe, obviously that's what you do. Uh, what else have you been playing, good sir?
Well, I've been for the past couple, not even just say couple months, for like the past 4 or 5 months maybe. I've been trying to step back from just being considered a Warframe streamer. So I've started streaming games like Paragon. In fact, I think that kind of pushed Warframe out just a smidgen. It was Paragon, I do a little Fortnite. Every now and again I try to switch it up and add something else. I played Doom for a little bit. I think that's the shirt you're wearing today. Whoop, whoop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doom.
Speaking of, that's a dope fade, man. I'm digging the fade.
Thanks, man.
I'm one with the fade.
Yeah.
I like it,
That
man.
looks good. Razor lineup or no?
No.
No.
No,
Just
I know-
straight
I know
high
for
and
a
tight.
fact, no.
Straight high and tight.
Yep.
It looks good, man. Looks good. And when it's kind of like, okay, I need something to do without thinking, kind of mindless, I jump on Warframe, kind of hang with chat. That's
Right.
my thing.
Yeah, it's comfort food.
Right.
You can just come back to it and sit and chill the whole time.
For sure.
Which oddly enough,
Yeah.
that's how I feel about Diablo. It's like when every other game is just like not doing it for me, I could just jump in Diablo and run some rifts and do some bounties and not think and just go on autopilot.
Yeah.
And it feels really good.
Just grab you a spoonful of riffs. Maybe a.
Throw some milk in it.
I haven't played D3 in a while, man. How's the
Yeah.
Necromancer?
The Necro, from what I hear, he can be pretty OP. Like, I just started mine, and I haven't really hit Paragon yet. I'm, like, close to 70, because I only got to play him for a couple hours. And my boy jumped on with his wizard, and power leveled me real quick through the first 2 chapters of this season. So, I'm really trying to find, like, where my build is going to go for that game, for the Necro. But right now, it feels really good, because it's got this mechanic with... every enemy you kill leaves a corpse on the ground, and you can do stuff with corpses and manipulate that in different ways. So I use it as an attack, where every time there's a corpse, I can spam a specific ability that'll cause the corpse to explode and cause chain explosions and things like that. Yeah, it's really awesome. I'm definitely digging it, because normally I play Demon Hunter or Crusader, and everybody in the Diablo community kind of shits on them like, oh, they're OP, they're easy buttons, you just fucking, you have an infinite uptime on your abilities, and you just run around the map
Says
nuking
the dude who
everything.
just plays a helicopter. I mean...
No. My Demon Hunter is not a helicopter. It is a Death Blossom, okay? It is a Death Blossom.
Whatever.
Did you play as well?
I did for a bit. When I had my Xbox, I actually got rid of my Xbox to upgrade to a PlayStation Pro for better streaming quality, better over capture quality, stuff like that. And it came down to it, like, I wasn't playing nearly as much. Like, I didn't use my Xbox as much. I played Diablo on there, finished all the way through the campaign, and started running a little bit of rifts with his crew, and just wasn't up to, like, there's a lot of math that goes into Warframe, and I love it.
Yeah, but
not nearly to the extent of Diablo. Like, crazy down to the minute stuff.
Yeah, Diablo's not big on, like, exponential math. It's more, it's really minute math. It's tiny numbers that really do add up to a bigger impact. So, like, once you really start getting into that tiny little fractions of details in every piece of armor and every weapon, and then all of your abilities just tweaked out just right, and then when you get into Paragon, it gets it's real particular. But that's something I love about it, because you can just kind of go into left field when building something in Diablo. And, I don't know, so Warframe obviously has given me kind of that outlet a little bit with really tweaking and refining builds. Like, I don't just take my Frost and go, I'm gonna throw 5 Forma on him so I can put any mod that I want. I mean, yeah, I do that, but then I look at, like, what's his primary gonna be? How does that affect the rest of his build and my playstyle? What's his secondary? What's his melee weapon? What companion do I have? And what's my focus school? What arcanes are going on him? Like, every little thing, because I'm trying to break it down just like Diablo. Every single piece adds up to, how well I'm gonna use him. So I don't just go, okay, I'm gonna be a CC Frost and use my bubble to deflect some bullets, and then use Ice Wave Impotence to control the crowd and then take headshots with a sniper rifle. I did that for a while, but that seemed very, I don't know, it was more subdued than I wanted. I wanted a more active playstyle, so I made a Killer Frost that just goes in and murders things and strips armor with his Hailstorm, his fourth ability. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
much to the same effect as my Power Strength Ivara, which is just fun. You walk around with a shotgun.
But if I'm walking around stripping armor from, anything, 100% armor stripping, then I want to have a decent status weapon so I can proc viral and cut their health in half. So now I've got a Frost that is super tanky. He can strip armor all by himself. He's got rage, so he can keep his energy up, and Zeneric to help with that. And then all of his weapons are starting to proc viral at exponential rates. So I'm looking at what he is.
Synergy.
Yeah, and each piece of his equipment is going to give to him that much more and keep him in the fight. So now I have an endgame Frost. And most people be like, well, yeah, you're only going to use him for defense or something like that, where you're sitting stationary. It's like, no, my Frost goes and gets in your face.
Yeah.
My Frost, beats people up. He doesn't just sit inside his snow globe,
That's been a big thing of, like, me and you have kind of been doing the same thing. Me and ShotFace have kind of been doing the thing of, we like one character. So we'll take that character and do the most we possibly can with it. Like, his is Frost.
Yeah.
His has always been Frost,
Yep.
because he came into the game the first time Frost came back as the unvaulting.
Yeah.
And I have always loved Volt and Volt Prime. And I've always tried to extend Volt Prime to do crazy amounts of stuff. And one of our favorite old school things that we used to do back when keys were a thing were we would take a key, we'd go into a mission, a capture mission, and we would race. So we get to the capture target, we're both sitting there, and then as soon as the capture target is up and done, we race to the exit. And it was usually either his Loki or your Ashe versus my Volt.
And
so
we went out of our way to make builds that were just speed builds for doing that. So we concentrated on just like 2 frames for just literally running from point A to point B and forsaking everything else.
And you guys were running around like cracked out then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
I tried to maximize
it was...
Bolt's speed, and it's crazy. I'm running into walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our buddy John cannot deal with it. He just can't.
Yeah, no, he will rage quit a game if we throw on too much speed, because he cannot control himself.
Well, and it's down to the point of, like, I'll be waiting at the exit of like on a landing pad where the exit is, where there's no back, and wait for him to jump for the exit and then hit my speed, so he'll go over the ledge.
Every single time.
Such a troll.
Yeah, and it's just like fun stuff like that. Like, that's what I built my Volt to be. And it's a fun little, like, mini game that's within the game, and Warframe has a lot of those little things that, like, it's a little tiny min-max thing that we used to do that was just something fun for us to do. And I really love Warframe because it has a lot of that in it.
Okay.
And
real quick, Encore, I am well aware, but thank you, yes. I totally get what you're saying, brother.
Okay.
Thank you. Alright, go ahead.
But it's one of those things that I don't know how many other players now are, like, get into those little tiny things. Like, I can remember the Fake KO challenge. I remember when that was a thing. I don't know if you ever remember that at all.
Yeah.
Like, little things like that. Like, that's the stuff that I love. It was like the little Fake KO challenges, and I don't see that much anymore. And I really wish that we could bring stuff like that back, or even DE bring, like, something like that back, because we've had we haven't had that many, what are they called, events, I guess? Like the different events.
Are you talking about the tactical alerts?
Yeah, the tactical alerts. That's what it was called.
Okay.
The tactical alerts. We've had a few of them, but we haven't had nearly. They've really toned down in the from what they were in the past.
I would say, yeah, this year we've had considerably less than last year. I've noticed, because I was gonna say, I know on PC, kind of, they had not the Fomorians. Was it the Fomorians that showed up this time? Because of
they haven't shown up yet.
Back, right?
Yeah, the Acolytes did come back.
The Acolytes came back.
The Acolytes came back for one weekend, and that was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Like that was a couple months before TennoCon. Actually. And it looks like we on console, we're gonna get the Razorback fairly soon, relatively soon. But I think the Fomorian dropped not too long ago on PC. Because
See,
I know
when
a
it
couple
comes
of
to those, don't you have to, it's that deal with invasions. Do those count as tactical
yeah,
alerts?
those two particular ones deal as invasions. I don't know if they count as tactical alerts anymore. I
Mm-mm.
thought they did
Okay.
at one point.
They did at one point, but I think they're in a different class now.
Yeah, because they're tied to the invasion
Yeah,
system.
and what it
Yeah,
seems like to
yeah,
me
yeah.
is DE is using it as a little bit of a control method, because based on what they put into the invasions, kind of controls the popularity of
Mhm.
how far that tactical alert or the either the Fomorian or the Razorback is going to go, and I can
Oh
easily
yeah,
see them manipulating that a little bit because they know how popular these things are.
Right.
So I
yeah.
could easily
So
see them moving back and forth to try to even them out and things like that. And we've seen a little bit of that, like them trying to even up what their how long the or how sorry, nah, how far the bar has gone, how far the progress has actually been made on getting those events to pop up. So
Okay.
we've seen a little
uh,
bit of that of them trying to even that stuff out.
point
To
made in
kind of
chat.
go
They.
with,
Oh, go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say there was a point made in chat that the possible reason for the lack of tactical alerts and such currently
Mhm.
is because of all the stuff they do have going on at DE right now.
True.
There is a lot being handled currently, so
Mhm.
I think tactical alerts are kind of getting overlooked at the moment. But yeah, go ahead, Tiger. You were gonna say something. Sorry.
I was gonna point that out too, because I have
Okay.
the stream up and everything
Mhm.
too. I just feel like I guess they could it's nothing for them to rerun a tactical alert, but I guess it's also it could be an issue where it's like okay, bugs do exist,
Mhm.
they can cheese it, and nobody want that, but you'd almost think if they fixed all this stuff prior, like let's say they bring out I don't know, remember no, that was actually an event leading up to Keller Dethame's
Mhm.
arrival. Even though it was a tactical alert, I believe. Like if they fixed all this stuff prior, I feel like it's no issue for them to push it out again and say, okay, you guys got a weekend, go.
Right. Yeah, I
But I
would really
guess
enjoy.
it'd require.
Yeah, I really enjoy something like that, and that's all I'm saying is like a community member is a lot of the time like that was the really fun stuff. Like some of the most fun we've had as like a clan because it's literally just four of us in a tiny little ghost clan. The Reverse Edgelords, by the way. We had a name change a while back, but
Yeah.
it's a fun little thing, and it was what was the alert name? It was the Grenier Defector one.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the one with the Ignis Wraith?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that
Yes.
counts as a tactical alert,
yeah.
right?
I believe it did.
And we
Okay.
actually, the four of us in a Ghost Clan, which a Ghost Clan I believe max is 9.
Yeah.
The four
Yeah.
of us scored in the top 10% of all clans in Ghost
On
Clan
PS4.
rank, on PS4. So we actually have it
Yes.
in our dojo, and that's like a huge thing for us. Is like we did this
Yeah,
just the
that's-
four of us.
Honestly, that's one of our big badges of honor. Just playing this game. It's like four friends who were like, we're gonna try this thing, and we actually got. I don't know. We got this weird luck that happened in a
We
moment.
we got the
and,
right tile at the right setup with the right people.
yeah.
Nice.
So
I think we lasted for like it was close to 2 hours in the same mission.
it was a little bit better than 2 hours because I know at some point I couldn't even ferry defectors.
Mm-hmm.
I was literally just doing CC with Nidus, and our buddy Easy, our buddy Easy was coming in and grabbing my defectors to take them out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like that was a huge, like, really fun thing for us to do as a group, and I really love to see more of that.
I think yeah, there should be more. I know they are working on the new Nemesis style system for clans,
Mm-hmm.
and I really can't wait to get into that.
Didn't you guys get if you scored that high, you got a gold trophy for your
Yep.
dojo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did.
And it sits right next to
nice.
our trading post.
Is that the
Yeah.
only one you guys have, or?
We have I believe we have bronze for Ambulus.
We have
And
gold for
we
Ambulance.
have
We have bronze
gold
for
for-
Keller
oh.
Dethane.
Yeah, Kella. Yeah.
Because we were so done with that mission type. We're like, we're doing it once, we're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, I was not a fan of that. I really didn't know how to cheese her very well at that time, so I did not want to like tell everybody in my clan, hey, here's what we're gonna do and how we're gonna do it. We just kind of went in. And it's like, oh hey, let's get this over with, because
Yeah.
that fight can be kind of a pain, even in just the sortie.
Right.
What was the? I guess where did the point system go? Was it in the actual arena, or was it fighting her? I don't remember.
It was.
Because I was
I
never
believe.
big on the events.
I believe it
I
was
don't know.
the point system.
I mean, for like the build-up rounds, like
Yeah.
the pseudo PvP
endurance
thing that you have to
round.
do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember. Wow.
Oh man,
Because-
speaking of events that we didn't like, personally, my least favorite had to be the index.
A lot of people
That
say
wasn't-
that like
that
the
wasn't-
index was super boring
Mhm.
for some people.
Like, did you get the what was the special trophy for sitting in there for like an hour?
John Prodman, right?
Yeah,
You get
yeah,
the,
Prodman.
the image. I
Mhm.
never did it. I wanted to though.
Yeah, like we want to do the
Still
same thing.
want
We
to.
want to sit and we want to do a Prodman run, but we've never quite gotten that far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's a big thing that I want to do because like that's a huge badge to have that sitting in your ship because like I have all of my quest stuff. Like I have the little kid posters from what was it, the
Nidus quest.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah,
Nidus
the
quest.
quest.
I have
Yeah.
those like cockeyed put around like a kid slapped them on the wall. All over the place. And like I've done collages where it's like 2 or 3 of the panels put together to make a picture. Like my Volt,
Yeah.
my giant Volt with the electricity going all around and the broken glass. That's 3 different panels put together, like comic book style.
Okay.
Yeah, and like having those customization options, I think is really cool. And like that's a cool thing to have a badge of honor because you don't see that much in games anymore. Like that was one of the biggest things I wanted out of Destiny, honestly. Was I wanted something that showed my progress.
Accomplishments.
Showed my accomplishments other than... Because Destiny is kind of a sore spot, us here. Because it could have been so great. And that's all I'm going to say negative about it. But there were a lot of things that I really wish would have been done there. And that's actually what I kind of brought ShotFace in after he was kind of done with Destiny. He saw Warframe and was like, this is everything Destiny should have been. But,
Yeah, I was a Sherpa for Destiny. I used to drag people to the mountaintop in raids and things like that, and that game broke my heart.
Yep. And
So, Destiny 2 is a no-go for you.
I am staving off Destiny 2 unless my old Halo crew comes out of the woodwork and like really pressures me to get in
Shows
on
up.
PvP. Outside of that, I'm not. I'm washing my hands of that game.
I mean, I'm gonna try it just because I'm kind of a whore when it comes to video games. I'll play anything you put in front of me. Like again, the games that just came out, I want to get into Lawbreakers, even though it hasn't had the best reception. Like even on consoles, its player count's pretty low.
PvP, right?
Yeah, it's $30. It's the new game from Cliff Bleszinski, and it's a PvP only style arena shooter. The reason I'm kind of interested in it is because even on console, it's 60 FPS. Period. Like across the board, it's 60 FPS. So so far only Doom, and I want to say there's one other first-person shooter that's done it. But Destiny 2 is not even going to be first-person, so that's huge.
Okay.
Or Destiny 2 is not going to be 60 frames, so that's huge to me.
Okay.
So I kind of wanted to check that out.
it's-
And then
It's not
Absolver.
going to be 60 frames on console, as far as I
Yeah.
know. They do
Yeah.
have it static
No.
on console.
Like he's 60 frames on console. He's said it straight up. 60
Well,
frames
no, I
on
mean
console.
Destiny. I thought Destiny
Destiny's
was
not.
gonna
That's
have
what
a-
I'm saying. Is Destiny's
Okay,
not?
so
going
yeah,
to be.
Destiny's going to be 60 frames or better on PC. They do have
Yes.
somebody showed that they have an option to actually unlock frame rate.
Mhm.
So PC
But,
guys are actually getting a decent game.
Yeah. Sorry, I need to think before I speak. But the console, like that's why I'm interested in Lawbreakers, and there's a lot of new games coming out because it is the summer season now.
I'm saying Lawbreakers is out right now.
Yep, Lawbreakers is out. The player count's a little low from what they were projecting
Yeah,
and stuff.
I can imagine.
But I mean, they did a lot of promotion. But yeah, I'm interested in Lawbreakers. I'm interested in Absolver, which actually comes out on the 29th. Which, if you haven't heard about that, that's a weird like Soul Calibur style fighting game in this
I love me some
super
Soul Calibur.
right. This is like you get to customize your moveset in your deck. Like it's a deck that you build, and each move changes to a different stance. And if you haven't seen it, go check it out. We've kind of been all over the place, but it's fun conversation. So, like, if you haven't,
What is it called again?
Absolver.
Absolver. Yeah.
It's being
I'd say,
done by Revolver Digital.
Yeah. There should be a trailer up on the PlayStation's YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yep, I got it right here. I got that Fury. I got a lot to check out, man.
But yeah, again, I'm a whore for video games. I'll check out anything you throw in front of me. I'm a huge fan of games.
That's where I differ. Is I've been I've played so many games over such a long period of playing games. Now I'm like super refined in
You're
what I
that
play.
grizzled old veteran of like, I ain't gonna play it unless I know I'm gonna like it.
Yeah, I'm very picky because it's like if I'm gonna invest in the product you give me, I want to have a bit more certainty as to whether I'm going to enjoy my time there. Like Fortnite, I did enjoy playing Fortnite for, you know, about a week or so, and it's got some great gameplay, and it feels tight and fun, and it looks like there's a lot of love put into it, but there's a lot of things surrounding that gameplay, a lot of the mechanics and progression that I'm currently at odds with. So, like, I want to enjoy that game, I do, but I want to see the next iteration of that game that's more streamlined and more player-focused and friendly to me. But I have put a considerable amount of money into that game, so I do not want it to fail.
Right.
So, like, when it comes to video games that I buy into or purchase straight up, like, I either gotta know that there's going to be progress made to make that game great, or I gotta know that that game is great in the box that I got it in.
Right. Which is why I was really surprised you picked up No Man's Sky, but... Anyways, we're not even gonna open that can of worms. I'm sorry I brought it up.
I got caught in the hype train. I'm sorry. I slip, I fall, I stumble. Okay.
Not even gonna bring that up. I just wanted to mention it, just as like a fun little thing.
Okay, we
are at the halfway point. So
yes, we are.
Again, if anybody has joined us, thank you for tuning into the Tenno Two Drink Minimum, which is what this is. This is a primarily warframe podcast. And it's primarily a drinking podcast. So right now, me and ShotFace are 2 drinks in. And we actually have... me and ShotFace are part of the Console Casuals, which is where you're viewing this on YouTube. If you go ahead and if you like what you've seen so far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. You can use everything. Go ahead and give us a comment on any constructive feedback you can give us, or anything you would you wanted us to talk more on, things that we missed, things that we got wrong. We are always looking for advice on audio, anything, because this is very like guerrilla radio style. And we always look at comments. And this week, we actually have a very special guest, TygaStripe.
Say hey.
Okay.
So, just wanted to welcome everybody else who's been watching the stream. We are going to go ahead into another little...
you get another
playback?
replay loaded up in the background?
Got another replay here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get this one. I forget which one this is. I might get pub sound, but that's fine, because that's just going to be on the internet forever. But
while you're setting that up, Mr. Tyga, my good
up?
man, you are a live streamer. You are, you don't really do any YouTube stuff, as far as I can tell. And
yeah, I wouldn't really say I'm a YouTuber.
Yeah. Okay. So you primarily live stream on Twitch. And sorry, I've got a lot of things going on in front of me right now, but there was a point I was trying to get from you, which is outside of playing Warframe. I know you've delved into other games like Fortnite and Paragon and stuff like that, so I just want to get a little feedback on where you think Fortnite is right now, or if you would like to talk about Paragon or anything like that, because I know we've been heavy on the Warframe, so we do like to branch out with all the other games we're playing. Those are kind of 2 big heavy hitters on our list right now, because we're beta testing those, and I know the 3 of us are like kind of elbow deep in all of that. So I just get some opinions right now where maybe Fortnite is at, or if you want to just talk about Paragon, either or. That's cool.
Super quick, because I didn't get to really speak much on the Diablo topic. I'm a fan of the Witch Doctor. I like the Witch Doctor. I don't really see too many, you know, when I ask about Diablo, I wonder if I'm ever going to get somebody to say, dude, the Witch Doctor.
No, Witch Doctor can be pretty OP. Like, Witch Doctor is pretty baller. I'm not going to lie.
Pets,
like,
man.
I'm saying, like, I every time I see, okay, so I play with my buddy Mo and his wife, and they have 3 beautiful kids, and he actually gets his 2 oldest kids to play with them, so they all 4 play together, and his son, who I think is about 10 years old, 10 or 11 now, he actually plays a pretty mean Witch Doctor. This kid's like Paragon 200, and he only gets to play, you know, like when he's done his homework, and you know, like he's been really good, and it's after dinner, and him and his dad just sit down and play some Diablo, and I think that's amazing that his whole family has this one video game, because he grew up like me, a video game kid like us, so he really wanted to impress that. And his wife, not a video game person, but she will play some Diablo, and she loves it. Like, she plays a pretty hardcore wizard herself. But yeah, no, his witch doctor is pretty baller. We just let that kid run shop on on Rifts and just let him go in front of us because you can see the minion wave is crazy.
Oh man, like I said, dude, the witch doctor for me, it's so hard when I start a new season. It's like I gotta start branching out. You know, I gotta try something new. But then it's like, but the witch doctor.
See,
love the witch doctor.
I get that way with the demon hunter. It's like I have everything for the demon hunter. I've mastered all the dungeons. I've got all the sets. I don't need to play the season with him. I need to play with somebody else and get their sets and get them worked up and get all the dungeons done.
Right.
You know. So, see, I feel you on that. I definitely feel you on that.
Boys, I don't know if you've been watching the stream or not. We may be in a little bit of a pickle because it looks like they just reset all of the playbacks because I am getting red screens.
I see that. I did catch it. I was wondering what that was about. I thought that was a loading issue.
Yeah,
all right, so
I've
you're getting...
loaded up 2 or 3 of them, and I'm getting nothing but red
that's
screens.
fine.
So
All right,
I will actually go and
might...
find one on the standard featured list or something, or one of the other recents.
That's fine.
So
That's fine.
we'll
I would say give it a second. Let it
something.
refresh. You might have a server issue. But yeah.
So before
I
I respond about Fortnite and Warframe, I should Fortnite and Paragon, I should hold off or.
No,
no,
you're good.
That's,
you're good.
It's just part
I'm
of the
just,
video feed. The
informing
audio
what's
is
going
fine.
on. Yeah, the audio is totally.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now with Fortnite, you know, I hate to kind of derail the original topic. It's just I really wanted to get that out there.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I understand.
With Fortnite, I love it. I love Fortnite, man. I just feel like we were talking about numbers earlier. There are some inconsistencies with the numbers right now. I'm in the middle of trying to, you know, do a write-up and get things done, and I'm breaking down math, and it's just numbers are very inconsistent. So I can't wait until they're finally able to fix that portion of it. Honestly, I feel like the rest of it is great. It's all about bringing out new content, new heroes, or new classes. I feel like PvP will be pretty cool. I think PvP will be dope.
Have you heard anything about PvP in that game?
No, I haven't heard about anything PvP.
Here's something I'm curious about, PvP wise. What would you see as a PvP mode in that? Because I honestly wouldn't know what to expect. Like PvP out of Fortnite, honestly, I wouldn't know what.
It would have to be very. I feel like it would have to be objective driven, not just killing each other.
Yeah.
So maybe
definitely.
like a capture the point, or kind of, I guess, building up forts type of thing, and trying to defend, and like you get X amount of minutes, put your resources together. I don't know, maybe build a fort, build defenses. You need key heroes in order to defend against these guys. Maybe very MOBA style, where maybe they don't have husks, but something similar. You know, the opposing team. Kind of as meat shields, so to speak. Possibly trying to get to that storm defense, you know, traps and all. I don't know. It's so much that they can do, rather than just, you know, running around, hiding behind something, shooting, you know?
Yeah. Well, even my idea is do it head to head. Of you literally have 2 forts sitting next to each other, and you build up a fort, one team versus the other team.
Wins.
Well, yeah, best defense wins. Whoever can last the longest wins, and you just get wave after wave after wave after wave after wave. And you can look over and see what the other person's doing, and kind of that type of thing of you're fighting your side and you're working with what you have, but you can always look over and see how are they doing.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Something like that, where you got 2 bases back to back, and you're constantly trying to outlast.
I could see, you know, since the maps are essentially instances, right? And with a set amount of resources, I mean, granted, it's abundant. But if you have 2 teams of 4 with opposing forts on one map together, with the horde coming at both of them equally, right? You've got specific resources on the map, like wherever you come to a point where you have to put in 3 blue glow and give your team a boost of some kind, right? I could see those being kind of like your gold buff or your river buff in Paragon.
Yeah.
Where you want to get to that first, you know? That's just a bonus for you and your team to help you build faster or cover more of the map and gather more resources quickly. You know, like I definitely could see them using a lot of the elements that already exist, so they really wouldn't have to change much of the game. They would just have to
structure it in a different way.
They would have to structure something. I don't know, that would I guess add. It would really be just adding a second storm shield defense type situation on the same map, right? So, and then you've got, you know, double the amount of enemies going in separate directions, because it would really come down to balance at that point. But yeah, I could definitely see that working.
It'd be very interesting.
Yeah, I was kind of, you know, I was doing. I'm always going back to. I have not left Stonewood yet.
Okay.
Like, I'm the type of guy. I guess you consider me a completionist. It's like I'm gonna do everything Stonewood to the max, and I'm gonna treat myself to the next stage. You know.
Right.
So I'm on Stonewood Defense 9 out of 10. One more, finish that. It's painful, dude. I saw upwards of 1,000, like kill 1,000 husks. What are you talking about? Kill it? Like, come on. Like, I pulled some guys off global. I'm like, you know, looking for help, because personally, it's like, it's my base. I can deal with it.
Right.
No, you cannot solo 7 on up. Like, it's not. It's possible. It is not possible. I'm sorry. It is impossible. Yeah. So, pulled some guys off global. One guy was just pure melee, ripping through everything. Another guy was like, dude, I'm out of ammo. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
See, yeah, we run. I ran because I'm a little bit ahead of them. I put in a lot of hours because with my current situation, I'm able to play a lot more than most of the people in our group. And we have a group of 4 normally, and we had all 4 of us in playing. We were doing Storm Defense 9, and I didn't tell them. They were under leveled a little bit. I didn't tell them. I was just, let's go do this. You'll get plenty of XP. You guys will get up in level. It'll be fine. And we got through it. But, like, last 30 seconds of the defense, one of the big hulking, like, the big bulky guys with the giant arms, I can't remember what they're called. Yeah, the Smashers. Came out and looked at my friend E and went, I'm gunning for you. And he was standing right next to my base and opened up my entire shield booster like a tin can. Just took out the entire side of it. And we had 30 seconds left.
He ripped about 7 walls deep. And we couldn't do anything to stop him. He exposed it straight up, and just having
took
everything we had to kill him.
Just dealing with this thing for another 30 seconds of being completely exposed was it was exhilarating. It's the first time I've ever felt that, other than playing like Horde from Gears, from being completely outmatched, and like we just have to last a little bit longer. Like, and again,
dude,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'd have been crapping myself, dude.
Well, yeah,
30 seconds, figure this out, guys.
Yeah, it's
no.
We need to deal with this, and we were all kind of freaking for a second of like, what do we do?
There was a moment, a short moment, in which he says, "Oh my God, what did you just do to my base?" And we stood there as like, well, we're defending it, dude, so you need to chill out, okay? We're doing the best we can. You did this.
Right.
Okay?
And, like, that was super fun. Like, I had never felt that other than in Gears, like, against one of the main bosses every 10 waves. And I know this game kind of breeds off of that, because it isn't, again, it's an epic game.
Yeah, it was Cliff Bleszinski was still in-house at Epic, and so was Rod Ferguson during Gears 2 when they came up with the initial idea for this game. Because they had invented Horde mode in Gears, and that took off very well, so they knew they had something special there. They wanted to make that its own thing, which is kind of the inception of Fortnite. So there's a lot of that heart still in the game. So you have those oh shit moments. So I appreciate that very much in Fortnite. Yeah.
And I have a lot of fun with it. There's been a lot of speculations with the Reddit and stuff, and a lot of talk over some of the issues with the game. And granted, you're always going to have issues with the game. Yeah. You're always going to have issues with the monetization they kind of have instituted with Fortnite. Because it feels like every time you spend money, you're encouraged to spend more. Constantly.
Okay, now that I can agree on. I feel like in order to progress and obtain legendary or close to that, you do actually have to put money into the game. I know there are some missions and you can get those schematics, but those are very, very, very few and far between.
Right.
Especially for new players or players that aren't really that far into the game yet. Me, I haven't seen anything beyond an epic schematic. Right. And whenever a legendary troll llama come out, it's like, do I want to drop the $20 to get it? Yes, because I need it. Like that's the only way I'm able to get those kind of things.
Yeah, they're incentivizing their marketplace better than incentivizing progression. Right.
Yes.
So, and that's very discouraging, and that's kind of where I'm at with the game, which is why I love it, but I've taken a step back because I do want to see them balance that a bit more to be player friendly. And I know there's a lot of discourse right now about that particular monetization of the game. And I know people do bring up things like, oh, free-to-play games that do it right are just, and oddly enough, Paragon gets brought up. Prior to V42, Paragon was brought up as, hey, this is a free-to-play game that's kind of getting it right. And Warframe gets brought up in any free-to-play game argument. Because apparently they've got, their monetization and itemization is just, it's far above and beyond everyone else, but they've had a long time to get there. So,
and granted, it wasn't always as good as it used to be, but they've 100%, DE has never shit on the player with their monetization system. Ever. Yeah. And that's a huge thing, because I think a lot of what DE has is goodwill from the players. Is one of the few, there are only anymore 2 or 3 game developers that I truly trust making games anymore. And that's something to say with the entire environment of development now with games, and that those 3 are DE for one, CD Projekt Red, because I'm a huge Witcher fan and they have never let me down at all ever, which is an immense thing in my mind. They've built up so much goodwill, it's ridiculous. And then of course Rockstar, because they just put out good games. Like their games know is going to be good.
Wow, LA Noire was alright.
I enjoyed it.
I put it on par. I liked it. It was alright. It's no GTA. It's no Red Dead Redemption. I'm sorry.
But it's a cool murder mystery game.
Yeah. And I can go on a tangent about the whole Black Dahlia murder thing, because anyway. But Rockstar particularly, if you look at what they're doing now, they have a free-to-play kind of model going on as well. They have a microtransaction system on GTA 5. GTA 5 is still highly played on both console and PC, and it is just a fun game, and they constantly add new things. And to get those new things, you need a crap ton of in-game money. But they have a monetization system that's like, oh, hey, if you spend $10, you can get like, $100,000 in game, $1 million in game. And you can afford those cool new DLC options that we just put out.
Okay.
And they are making like fistful of dollars every minute.
And the biggest key to that is they haven't necessarily put it behind you have to pay for this, because there are plenty of people who play GTA for free and never pay into that system. But the option's always there.
They know that people who bought GTA paid $60 up front for their game. And granted, you can take it as that and be like, hey, I played the campaign and I enjoyed it, and it's a very robust thing, like just any GTA. They're just big games and they have a lot going on, but so much of GTA now is online. They're GTA Online, which is where they focus on, which is why there's no actual story DLC for the game, because they're concentrating completely on their online thing because they're making so much money on it. People are actively choosing to spend.
They haven't had any story DLC yet. I still have hope.
Well, they've got Red Dead on the horizon, so I'm not worried about it.
Don't shit on my dreams, man. Don't shit on my dreams.
See, the only thing with, did you guys ever do the Criminal Mastermind Challenge?
No. For GTA, no. Nope.
So, it took
it's intense.
It took me and a group of friends ages to finally get it. And when we did, man, I'm like, I'm never gonna spend all this money anytime soon. Then they launched the apartments.
Gun Run? Oh yeah, the apartments. Okay, this is before Gun Running.
This was a long time ago. They released the apartments and the houses on the hills. Then they
Oh
released
yeah.
a couple new cars, and that's when what was the it car at the time was the T20.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was, how long ago was that? You know, like the
Oh,
T20 was the
Wow.
it thing.
yeah. And I remember,
And
like, because all of my content, because I actually got rid of GTA a long time ago, because we used to play as a big group of friends. Like, even on my personal Twitch channel, there's sumo bloopers from when sumo came out.
Yeah. But that
um,
that car was yeah.
Yeah. But like I remember playing that and that was super fun, but like most of my content now for GTA is done through the Achievement Hunter guys from Rooster
Yeah,
Teeth and the
they
Achievement
just
Hunters.
did. If they actually, the Achievement Hunter guys just did a thing where they did the Criminal Mastermind Challenge, and they
Okay.
actually, spoilers, they actually beat it.
Yeah.
They did it.
Like that's
And
nuts.
that's cool, dude.
it to watch it, like I've never done it myself, but to actually watch it, it's very tense.
Mm-hmm.
It's
What is-
super intense because you cannot die playing the game on hard, and nobody in the crew can die. And it's
Yeah.
it's so tense. It's
Oh
It-
man, they're like, get the vest, get the utility vest, put that on. Do not take that off.
you always got to have a helmet on. Everybody
Yeah.
has to have a helmet on as soon as you start.
Mhm.
Everybody has to have when you're driving down the road. You need to open up your menu and have it open for your what is it, your food and
Yeah.
your vest at all times.
Oh
And then like
man.
if you fall off your motorcycle, you need to get up and kill everybody around you, and everybody needs to stop and kill all the cops around you before you get back on your motorcycle. You need to put your vest on immediately.
Yeah.
And it's so
Oh,
intense.
man.
Well,
It's,
Yeah.
like,
It's a
like,
great.
if you've ever seen the
rule.
movie Heat,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
like that. It's like
Well, and just thinking about
Bring
it, like
back
that's such a great
memories, dude.
challenge. Yeah, that's such a great challenge for them to put in the game. That's here's a thing. Here's a hard mode for something that's as hard as a normal raid in any
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
game. So it's another incentive for people to keep playing. It was a great idea on their part, not only as a gameplay thing, but as a incentive to keep playing. It's something else to do. It's a fun thing for you and a crew
See,
to be able to
now-
say, "I did that."
now a whole lot of games don't do that. So
Mhm.
I think like do you guys think that maybe either Fortnite or Warframe could really use something along those lines? Something that's high risk, high reward. Because right now both games are very instance driven, very kind of a la carte experiences. You can kind of just
Yeah.
jump in, jump out.
Pick and
But
choose
people
what
have
you
really-
want.
I know in Warframe specifically, a lot of veteran players are kind of always asking, hey, you know, where's that stuff, you know, that's going to be end game? Where's that stuff for veterans? Where's that that really that high end experience that we want in the game? Because Warframe's a free to play game, but it comes off like such a AAA title. Like
Right.
the presentation in this game is so everybody applauds it essentially. So you expect there to be something like that. Now, some people would say, hey, you know, the true end game is Fashion Frame, or, you know, jokingly, or they would say, you know, sorties. That's where you got to get to, because sorties have the highest level enemies that the game is going to really throw at you for any reason. But most of that gets trivialized by the veterans, so we're looking for that bigger experience. Like, you guys think that maybe that GTA type of thing might, or could that work, essentially, in a game like Warframe or like Fortnite that is very a la carte and short instance experiences?
I have an opinion on it, but I'm
I
interested to
think-
see what Tyga's got.
I think it could work, but previously we talked. If they were to launch something like that, it would be broken. We all know how that would go whenever they push something out. Would it work? I could see something like that work.
Oh,
Nope. Hello. Can we hear you? You there?
hello?
Hello?
I think he cut out.
Yep. I
Tyga?
think there's an
Tyga,
issue. No.
No, Tyga. Yep.
I think he may have cut out. Unfortunately, I think it might have been a headset thing because we've been having issues with that audio and goddamn audio problems.
Yep. I'm not getting any response from his mic currently.
In the party chat.
Yep. Oh.
Um,
It's got to be at the moment where he's actually going to say something too.
Yep.
What the hell?
So we noticed it right away, right? We'll wait for him and see what's going on with that. What I was gonna say is we have it a little bit in the form of ribbon challenges.
Kind of, but at river
we have it in a
challenges are
very,
also very
preliminary spot, right?
I don't know. Yeah,
Oh.
okay. So he just got dumped. So we're gonna try and get him back in.
Yeah,
there he goes.
definitely.
He's popping back in. Let's see if that fixes the problem.
Is your headset cut out? Is he back?
I'm still not getting anything.
Oh,
Oh no, sad
audio
face.
problems. Oh.
Every day with audio problems. We are actually reaching an hour here.
Mm-hmm.
If we wanna try to get Tyga's audio back and maybe do some. Oh wait, we got something.
Hey,
there we are.
Hey, he's
All
back.
right.
No.
There was a. That's.
No, it's our luck.
that's-
It's totally
that's
on us. That's our luck.
That's PlayStation, man. That's how it works.
Right? Right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Much like what Epic ran into with Rep. Yeah, much like what Epic ran into with Rep, of us just having a surplus. I have 2 million Rep, and I have no idea what to fucking do with it at this point. Well, granted, V42 has changed some things, so I still have to find out the balance there. But,
there
like-
were 2 updates, real quick, because I know I meant to mention this earlier.
yeah.
Was regarding Paragon, there were 2 updates that were posted in the forums and the subreddit concerning balance passes that are coming in the near future,
Ooh.
as well as they're looking at the rep system and the possibility of instituting tokens to give you a mastery level
Ooh.
on a character.
Okay.
It's still very much in the works, still very, very fresh on their minds. But
Right.
there's some stuff I would say if you get the chance, go ahead and read those 2 entries.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they will be.
I will
pinned at
say
the
this
top
right
of
now.
the
Yeah.
subreddit.
I will actually go down and I will find find those and post them in the description of this. If you're watching this after the fact, if you're not watching this live, I will have those in the descriptions when I go and change and put all of this in the playlist and everything for the console casual site. So I will make sure that that is in the description. Something I did want to get Tyga's actually opinion on was because we've been talking a lot this week. Because granted, we can't help it. Half the time we're sitting there and we're like, save it for the podcast, save it for the podcast, save it for the podcast. But sometimes we just can't help but talking about stuff. We've had a lot of debate over the rep system, the new rep system at least, because
In Paragon, yeah.
both me and ShotFace are master founders. We gave, what was it, $90, $90 to $100?
Something like that. I think it's $80 or $90.
Yeah,
I don't remember exactly.
we paid a big chunk of change
Like 2 years
to
ago.
support this game. And granted, I upgraded from like, okay, the lowest one to I'm going to upgrade to the highest one because I really want this to succeed. And so with the newest update, I'm not sure if you're a founder or not. Are you, Tyga? Okay. Right.
Okay.
But as founders, we were promised that we would never have to pay for the masteries of the first 39 heroes, if I'm correct?
30. I want to say it's 39 heroes. The first
39?
30-something heroes. 39
Yeah.
to 36. One of those 2.
And so something you brought up earlier in the week is the fact that you feel kind of a little bit betrayed with the evolution of us having, even the founders having to pay for masteries after level 10.
Now, okay, to preface this, I did not know that this was happening, so it kind of blindsided me.
Okay.
And after talking to you about it and having a very heated debate the other day, I went to the forums and I went to Reddit and things like that, and I asked around, and people directed me towards moments where they had mentioned it in in community corners and a couple of blog posts and things like that. So they had actually openly discussed it to some degree. I don't feel it was enough because I didn't feel warned about the fact that, hey, you bought in to never have to pay for mastery. All your masteries are unlocked. And we have gone and changed the mastery system as a whole without negotiating that with you and what you expected, you know, as a founder. So, and okay, to a certain extent, I get that from a business standpoint, where they're going with their monetization model, but it did feel like kind of a heavy-handed blow because they also got rid of a source of income for rep because the community was complaining that they had too much rep, but then they also inflated the amount of rep you would need for mastery progression.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Exactly.
Yeah. That's been a point of contention in the forums and the subreddit currently, is that newer players are kind of left, you know, waiting in the wings, and that's one of the things that was brought up in one of the 2 posts that was put out today, was that their token system, newer players get a handful of tokens to put into mastery for a couple of heroes, and you know, they're looking at putting those tokens into loot chests and things like that to help further progression and keep new players on board.
Right.
So like I don't know. I don't remember. I want to say
I
it
could
was
foresee
chests.
actual chests. Yeah, I could see actual chests.
I could see
'cause
chests.
that-
Yeah, I mean a relatively low drop rate for those tokens, and just put them in chests, because chests are not super hard to get. You can get chests pretty regularly, and according to them, they've looked at the numbers, and we do get a sizable amount of rep because they moved all of it to your daily logins.
Yeah.
And things like that, and apparently they're going to start adding it to the star chests
during
as well.
Yeah, during our discussion with
so.
this, that was something that I really wanted to bring up. Was the main source of your rep has not necessarily been removed in my eyes. It's been shifted.
It's been shifted, and it seems like a slower influx of rep is what it looks like.
Yeah, because where I see it is, it's moved from, you know, like, it's been moved from, you're not necessarily getting, you know, 25,000 rep from chests now. You're getting those from your daily logins. I don't know how many times I've gotten 25 to 30. Yeah, 30. Well, your dailies. Yeah, dailies. It's 25,000 from every daily that you get with it, and that's a chance thing. But every daily login you get, you get 100,000, and that's a huge chunk.
And it's usually one of those a week is what they have it broken down to. So the average. They stated that the averages were, you know, people were getting 150 to 200,000 a week. Right, and like that's good. That's not bad. I mean, some people can't see the math right away, so I understand them clarifying that. I can see that now. Like, it makes sense to me. However, I have one mastered hero up to 10, and the mastery for getting my Twin Blast up to 11 was 750,000. So I get that getting up to mastery rank 10 takes some effort, and I put effort into mastering Twin Blast. But it still seems pretty sizable a price in terms of rep to get that far. To just get him up one more rank. And the ranks are continual to 99.
Yeah. Now, you were going to say something, Tyga? Yeah.
Yeah.
Great dude. Sports. Yeah, sports represent.
Yep.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, each time. See, that would make more sense. Because I see, I could understand that considerably better than what they have now.
Right.
Because when you go to unlock something, if you don't have the rep for it, there are 2 options that come up on your screen, and one of them is 500 coins. 500 coins is a direct translation of $5.
Yeah.
for their premium currency.
And that's big. Like, that's a large chunk of change.
The smallest amount of their premium currency that you can currently purchase is $10. So, like, or no, I think it is actually $5. It's just $5,
no, it's $10.
$10.
It's 10. You can get
10?
It's 10, 20, and 50. That's the top prices.
Okay. So, like, and don't get me wrong, 1,000 coins can get you a considerable amount of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe a couple of skins, a couple of boosts, things like that. But $5 straight up for one full rank of mastery.
Mm-hmm.
And consider, it's a free-to-play game. So yeah, they have a monetization market,
mm-hmm.
and they do have to make revenue on that. I
mm-hmm.
get that. But this seems like it's kind of a too steep a climb for players. That kind of pushes you in the direction of pay for play.
Yeah, it feels a little bit disingenuous and a little bit using.
It's a bit much.
I don't know what the proper term is. Sorry. It feels a little bit like you're being used.
Yeah, they're definitely incentivizing money instead of playtime, which well, it feels that way. I'm not saying that's what they are doing.
Yeah. Over 2 years now. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. 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 Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you run into that one Countess game where you're just like, nope, I'm done. I'm putting the controller down. I'm done. I'm out. I'm gonna go play something else.
Yeah.
Like.
Okay.
Oh God!
Okay.
The fact that I play Feng Mao and I can 1v1 a Kalari's Feng Mao. I can do that. That's fine. That's okay. Like, I understand that, like, back and forth. Like, being across lane, you both being on, like, 2% health and you know what she wants to do and you go, do it. I dare you. You having that's fine. But having a Countess come up and go 1-2 done.
Yeah.
That hurts. That goes, how am I supposed to outplay that? So I easily, and this is something that we've discussed, me and ShotFace has discussed off stream, is I see a balance patch coming, but I don't see it coming for another 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks after the update.
If you look at the two posts that were put in, there's 2 official posts, like I said. If you look at both of those, one of them is about the mastery, and the other one is about hero balances that are coming next month.
Thank you, God.
Yeah, they are coming next month. It's going to be maybe another week, maybe another 2 weeks from now. I don't remember the exact dates, but there are hero balances coming in the works. There's going to be, I believe, a short or a small balance, and then there's going to be a very broad change of numbers, like across the board.
Yes.
Some of the finalized art is coming. Yes.
Yeah. And from what go ahead. I'm talking too much. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, this has been a long contentious thing. Like, we've had this for multiple times of people have been pissed about tower damage. And there was a thing that was said a while back by KL that completely put it in perspective for me, tower damage wise at least. And that was, the tower is not there to protect you. You are there to protect the tower. And I get that. But at the same time, when a Kalari, who was supposed to be risk versus reward, when she is supposed to be the one that's there going, okay, I have a shot at killing this person if the luck is in my favor. If I do everything right, things could still not go off the way I want it to. But they have it at a point now of anybody can play her. So I think she needs some tweaks. And yeah, I understand Countess. Countess can be countered by the card system that we have. Let me tell you a little bit about a card called Sleeper Agent. I've used it. I've started running it in all my my knowledge decks because that card will single-handedly shut her off. Because she is a burst caster, and that card applies a 6-second silence.
Yeah.
And a silence means nothing can... Yeah. Again, so. It's a little bit mid-game, but nothing can be done by her for 6 seconds. And she is squish. Like, she's... Like... Yeah, exactly. She's super squish.
Okay, that card, specifically, that card kind of brings me back to the whole new player experience, if you will, for Paragon, and the locking cards behind certain levels, and kind of the RNG of chests and things like that. So, like, I am not a fan of that necessarily right now. This like, I love playing Paragon, but what they've done with some of the systems behind it, much like Fortnite, like, the gameplay feels great, the game looks great, I love just being in that moment with it, but when you look at the systems that are backing that up, that, you know, all the menus you have to go through and deal with all your stuff to get to playing the game, it feels like they've taken a step back and kind of bogged things down with this. So progression for pretty well everybody across the board feels like it's come to a halt.
Yeah, and something I think we can all agree on is... This patch was mainly for people playing now, veterans. Yeah. It feels very oriented around that. Am I wrong in that aspect?
I can see that I mean, that's where most of the feedback has been coming from, is people who have been playing for a long time.
Right.
But now with all the hype around V42, there seems to be an influx of new players.
Right.
So now they have to really take a look at that and figure out what they're going to do to help ease that pain and get them to get those players to stay, because we all want that player base to go up, you know. And
their record-seeing numbers on the day that it was released says something. Everybody came back. The fact that I couldn't play for like 13 hours says something. And granted, dude, like, I sent a message to ShotFace, and we talked about this before. I sent a message to him of just my, like, the queue time at the bottom of the screen, and he was like, why are you trying to play PvP? Like, why would you do that right now? And I just sent a message back of like, no, that's my queue time to get to the main menu. And, like, like, that means people are about the game. And there was a lot of people that were upset about it, but there was also a very large amount of people who were okay with it, because they understood that there's going to be issues. A lot of people are coming back, a lot of people are excited about it, and that's a good thing in, like, my mind, is a lot of people are having a good time. A lot of people are interested in what's coming. And a big thing that I noted, that I'm not sure how many other people noted, was the fact that KL finally mentioned, hey, we might start doing some marketing. He said that. Like, we are considering doing some marketing. Which, the amount of the player base that we have right now is with almost zero marketing. That's just word of mouth stuff.
Yeah, just about.
Right. Yeah. It's in a good spot. Right. Which makes sense why they're changing up all of this stuff now. They're changing up all this reputation economy right now. It makes sense why they're testing out new waters, is because they want to get this game in a state where they can accurately say, this is a good thing, we can sell this.
Yeah.
It totally makes sense.
For a free-to-play game, yes.
Right. Like, bringing this whole market, to kind of bringing the whole conversation together, it makes sense on their part of, this is where the game is now, we can actually market this, and they're trying to balance that. And I get that. And the biggest thing that I've noticed is a lot of people are kind of on the edge about some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a while until it's balanced. I know that we're not going to have any super significant, really well-balanced gameplay for a little while yet. I called it in actually Covert's chat before V42 came out was no balance patches before 2 weeks because there's not going to be. It's very hard for the I've heard how small their QA team is. So right, and you've been there, so you've actually seen it, so you probably know better than I do of like the size of their QA team versus how much information they're getting from just one day of it being live. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Sundown.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 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 As much as they can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, and yeah, exactly. That's one of the things that I've noticed from playing this game since, like, the very first 2 days after it released on PlayStation. And I'm sure those guys were freaking out when that happened. Of, like, playing it for that long and being a fucking land shark with Chimera on Legacy and loving that. Watching it from that, something I've noticed about them is they love this game. Like, KL wouldn't be doing his own YouTube stuff and wouldn't be doing his own, like, just stuff that he wants to have fun with, and you wouldn't see all these guys playing, you wouldn't see Wednesday streams if these guys weren't super passionate about what they did, and that does translate to a lot of us. Like, it is usually a very vocal minority who is discounting the game and things like that, as where most of us are just happy that we see developers as excited about this game as we are. Mm-hmm. That's badass. Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Dude, Covert's the man. Like, Covert's awesome. That dude's fucking awesome. Yeah, that dude's awesome. Like, I love being in his channel. Like, I didn't realize he was as old as he was, dude. I saw him as, like, maybe 30 at max.
And yes.
It's the beard, man. It's the beard. He's just that cool. Mm-hmm. Well. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Well, and that's the big thing. Like, I remember finding Sylphin. Like, you probably know Sylphin. Like, Sylphin, he didn't, like, he just started on Legacy. He just did stuff. And I remember, like, I subscribed to him back when he had, like, 200 subscribers. Because he was the only dude that did like the super in-depth math stuff that like my cousin would freak out about, of like quantifying every little thing. And that was super cool. Like, I wanted that in my repertoire. I wanted to be able to pull from that. I wanted to be able to see his spreadsheets and go, okay, this is exactly the value of this, and kind of work it into my own playstyle build and stuff. And now that guy's doing great. That guy's, I mean, he's up to a part-time streamer. He's a stay-at-home dad and a part-time streamer. That's awesome for him, man. Like, you have such a great, diverse community that's forming around this game. And that's something that's crazy, because, like, I'll see a lot of the content creators, and I'll see a lot of their communities, and they are truly building communities. Like, Covert has a fantastic community. Like, half the guys I meet there are just cool-ass guys that I love talking to. And the people I meet in your chat, even some of the people that aren't lurkers but are just hanging out and having a good time, like, I love talking with them as well. And then you have some of the guys, like, that makes up a little bit for some of the toxicity I find in games, because MOBAs unfortunately have some of that stigma of, like, they are very toxic a lot of the time.
I mean, that's across the board for hyper-competitive games, because
True.
Like, I came from Halo and Call of Duty and playing tournaments and having my crew and stuff like that, and that just comes with the territory of hyper-competitive games. When you get to that level, and MOBAs are kind of always on that pedestal, just in general. Yeah.
Because yeah. Yeah. I had a guy the other day. Yeah. I had a guy the other day. Or no, it was today. I played Crunch because they forced me into playing jungle. And I hadn't, like, I used to be a huge jungle guy. Like, I used to play Chimera jungle all the time. And I haven't played jungle in V42. Like, other than, like, maybe Chimera in a bot game. And so they forced me to play. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to try Crunch, just have a good time. And I had a dude going at me about, you're the worst Crunch I've ever seen. And I'm like, dude, just chill out, man. Just chill out. We're just having fun.
Okay.
Yeah, and
on the
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, on the opposite end of the spectrum, one of my first PvP games, like I said, I have my Twin Blast is the only character I've actually had mastery on. So I had enough rep. I bought the rank 11, and I happen to have my mastery skin on and my crown. And I went into a PvP game with being the only person to have over mastery rank 10 in the game, and everyone can see your numbers now. I chose Twin Blast, and I hit mid lane as where I was gonna go, and no one questioned me on my team. Yeah, they were like, okay, apparently he's a master Twin Blast. I'm not gonna question. I'm not gonna say anything here, and I played mid lane as Twin Blast.
Do you like?
Yes, I did. We actually blew through that game in like 25 minutes.
Well, and that's another thing. Do you think that's a big important thing? Because that's something they have changed. Is now you can see masters. Like me and ShotFace have a really funny interaction right when Yin came out. When Yin came out, we had an interaction of some guy in our chat. Like I think ShotFace wanted to play carry, and the guy was just, hey, and just dropped his build in the chat. It was like, I got this.
He specifically stated I was gonna play Twin Blast, and he was like, no, I want to be carry. Let me change characters, please. Change characters. So I was like, all right, whatever, dude. And it's like I was gonna be like, I had my master Twin Blast already. I was like, I really do want to do this. Just let me be.
Yeah.
He goes out of his way. He goes out of his way to say, I have a 600 DPS build on Yin, and she had just come out. This was like 2 days after.
900 DPS.
It was something ridiculous.
Mind you, ShotFace came before him in draft order.
Yeah.
So he had no obligation, and that's something. Yeah.
I gave up carry just so this guy could do that.
Really edgy on me of, if you're ahead in draft, that's your priority. Right. You have no responsibility to give that up to somebody else.
I let him go, and it's like I know for a fact that if I had played my Twin Blast, we would have been probably in a better spot. That, just speaking from experience, like I know what I would have been able to do in his position. And I could see what he was doing and when he was doing it as a carry. So I I think I went mid with Gideon or something like that. I just kind of copped out and was like, all right, I'll just play whatever. It's fine, because he did go well out of his way to say, oh, I've got this great build with Yin, and it took a lot of willpower on my part to not completely flame him in the chat.
Okay,
because
man.
it's like the hero has literally been out 24 to 48 hours
for less than 2 days.
Less than 2 days, this hero has been out, and you say you've got this amazing build. It's like, okay, I know of a couple of content creators who have put out some build ideas, a couple of videos, and I know of one specifically who said he can get some great DPS. So I'm gathering, you've probably just watched a YouTube video, and you think you can master this hero. It's like, you know what? That's fine. Do you, boo-boo. Handle your business. Be the carry. I want to see this happen, and I didn't use any venom, no vitriol. I just kind of let him be your carry. He didn't have a great game, didn't have the worst game in the world, but did not have a great game as the carry. He kind of got bullied. So to
be expected, because it was a new hero.
Brand new hero. No.
Yes.
No, just let it be, and we actually pulled that game out, if I remember correctly. There, we did pull the game out, but he was not necessarily a carry, not really pulling the weight there. So it's like,
granted, that's kind of to be expected.
I didn't want to poop all over a guy who went in with such confidence, and then
But to get back to the main point is that matters to me. Like, putting the mastery not only on your team to be able to see mastery on what on your team matters, but also being able to see the enemy team. So you see an enemy team with like, hey, that's a master rank 11 fucking countess. We might want to pick something to counter the hell out of her.
Yeah.
Just try to shut her down.
You can see the masteries now in V42. I know we used to do this all the time. Prior to V42, you could mouse over to somebody who had picked, and you could see if they had gotten the challenger or the mastery pack for that character. So that was that was the way we could. That was the way we were doing that to try and gather whether somebody was like decent with a hero or not at that point. Now, since everybody can see it, I think there is a kind of a preconceived notion that if you see somebody with a higher mastery rank on a character, that you want to give them the leeway to do what they're going to do because you expect them to be better at that character.
At the very least, they have more experience on that character.
Yeah, I'm not going to say I'm the greatest Twin Blast on the planet. I just put that much effort into that particular character and that role. So I play carries considerably better because I played Twin Blast, even through the dark times.
Oh god, dude, you played it when his ult was complete crap.
Oh yeah, when he was absolute garbage, I toughed it out. I was like...
It was bad. It was real bad.
I just really like the character. It's like the aesthetic just kind of hit me. It's like I want to be the douchebag on the team and just be that guy and have fun with it. Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, he was giddy when he saw like the squirt gun Twin Blast skin come out.
Oh yeah, the summertime Twin Blast, the summer fun Twin Blast. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, oh yeah, hell yeah, I bought it immediately.
See, and that's the thing. Oh, go ahead. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. I've actually transitioned from being a jungler carry kind of person to being an offlaner. I really enjoy offlane. I enjoy playing Kalari, like even way back when she was favorited as a jungler for some reason. I played her back then, and I play her now because she's fun now. She can be very entertaining. But like I've really picked up Quang. Quang's a bunch of fun now too. Feng Mao's a super good time. But I've transitioned to that. Greystone again. Greystone.
The unstoppable force.
But he's interesting. I see him more as a mid laner because I play him as a mid laner and I can do some work.
Well, no, he definitely is a mid laner, but yeah, he's not. His kit is. I feel it's a bit sluggish for the speed of the game now. Yeah. The flow of the game is a little bit too fast paced. I mean, yeah, with a coordinated team, he can be super effective, but I feel that it's just a mid laner in a pub match or something like that, you're probably not going to get fed as much unless you're really on top of your game, you know? So I feel like maybe he's not underpowered necessarily, his kit just doesn't lend to the speed of the game.
Yeah,
or,
you have
know,
to play much more
like
defensively as a Wraith mid lane, by like solo play, because that's what I did. Like today, I played Wraith mid lane, and I saved the carry and like the carry and the support because I just walked up and stealthed them in the middle of a fight where we were losing, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely not going to put out the numbers, but he's going to be useful in some ways.
But what I was getting at is, like, I played support for a long time because he was carry, even though I wanted to be carry, and I was like, fine, dude, take it, run with it. And I picked up Narbash. And Narbash is a ton of fun. Like, I remember, like, back in 41 where his thunk was fucking powerful as hell, before they changed the timing on it to where it was just one time the entire upgrade. And you could... Yeah, his thunk did a ton of damage, and his thunk had a set time limit on it, no matter how upgraded it was. Yeah, like, back right when he came out. I would walk people back down a lane in Monolith.
Oh, yeah. Just holding the drumstick up and looking at him.
Walk people down the lane.
He would bully people in lane, just straight up.
And so my carry could farm. Like, that was my whole goal, is like, he needs to farm, he needs to get stuff, I'm gonna be a bouncer. That's fine. And that was a ton of fun for me. What? Yeah. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. Right. She's got that peel. Right. Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't have the same impact, right?
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't have the same impact as like a Decker stun or a Belica knockup. And the funny thing, I played a support in V42 because somebody forced me to support role, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna play Sev support. Cause why not? Yeah.
Sev support.
Sev support.
This is a myth.
His siphon does a decent amount of damage because all they did was pull leveling cards, so it would do a ton of damage. And then on top of that, I would do his what's the root? Yeah, I would subjugate, and that was my peel. That was all I needed for a Murdoch. And we deleted people. Yep. It was this weird spot of like, I didn't know if this would work, but I'd seen it a couple times, and hey, guess what? Let's try it. Worst case scenario, we lose. We wrecked.
Brings up an interesting point about V42 as a whole. Is they have always had the mantra of each character should be able to play any role. You know, they wanted them to be very malleable. They you know, they don't want to just pigeonhole specific people or specific characters into certain roles. From what I've gathered, they've never been really big on that, but the community has been like sticklers for that.
Right.
So now with V42, you have a lot of this stuff. Like, I mean, straight up, everybody went, "Oh, Grim is a caster now." All of a sudden, Grim can play mid lane. You know, like nobody's business.
Mind. Like watching
here's
this all
this
go to
carry
15
who could
seconds
suddenly do this.
Blew my freaking mind.
I think even I think Ace had put out a video about what was it? It was somebody in the jungle that didn't make any damn sense. Who was it? Was it Muriel or something like that? It was like a support was in the jungle. It was.
He did a Death Muriel mid.
Yeah. Okay, that's what it was.
It's nuts.
Like there are. I think we're finally getting to that place where you can play a character in any role if you build them right. If with the way the cards are set up now, you could almost do that with everybody. I don't know that it's 100% across the board currently, but I feel like there's a lot of the kits are really lending very well to the card building, because when you limit the player's choices, you bring out their imagination a lot better. So people are like really getting outside the box and doing crazy stuff that nobody expects.
I mean, I've seen Jungle Richter, I've seen off-lane Chimera, which was never a thing, or at least never viable, and now it is. Like, even Ace made an off-lane Kai video, which is insane. I've seen, what was it? Again, a Death Muriel, mid lane Muriel. I've seen a Carry Kwong, which, right, like it's nuts,
Jesus.
and it's super cool to see all this stuff. But at the same time, it messes a little bit with build, and it messes a little bit with my head, because I'm thinking, okay, because I don't play that high in elo. Like my elo's shit because I've been caught in elo hell for the past like 9 months, and I'll say that straight up. I've been caught in elo hell because I solo queue, because 5 stacking, like I would if I could, but I don't have that many friends.
Well, consistent friends on Paragon anyway.
But like I'm a little concerned looking at, okay, how are they going to build heroes now? Because in the past we've had dev streams where it's like, we built this hero to go in this spot. And so how are they going to build? Are they going to build heroes the same way? Or are they going to change how they build heroes now to be more about a concept rather than a place?
Hmm.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
But at that point, she's a caster. Yeah, at that point, she's a caster, so now you have this weird tag. So...
Yeah.
And that brings me up into another thing in the card system. Like, the card system is very different when you look at it. And because the decks now can go on anybody. And I've done this a couple times where it's like, I'll take this random deck that I don't know if this is going to work, but I'll try it. And so, like, that's literally why one of my decks is called Off Jungle. Because it can do either or. It's whatever I get stuck with. And occasionally, because of where I'm sitting in this fake elo or this matchmaking skill, some people will go like, I want to go off lane. Well, I'm ahead of you in Q order, so I'll pick off lane because that's honestly what I'm feeling right now. Like, I really want to go off lane. And then they'll just sit in off lane, so it's like, well, you queued as jungler, so now we don't have a jungler, so I'll just go jungle. Screw it. I'll just go in the jungle and do my thing. Because at a certain point, I don't have to think about jungling. It's just fun. Yeah, honestly, that's that's one of the things. I was really curious. It's a growth chaos deck. I keep messing up the new names. Yep. Because I'm a huge Magic player, and this, like, the card system reminds me of Magic so much with the card art and everything, and but like that's something I'm okay with. Is like, I'm okay with, okay, you're gonna get bounced there, I'm gonna bounce into a different spot. And trying to queue for that is a little bit difficult, and understanding these roles and where I need to be, but not seeing that necessarily reflected in my teammates, that can really hinder a playstyle or a game for any individual person.
I think that's kind of where they're going with that for the matchmaking, is to be more, to have the characters feel more open. So if you do end up in a raw deal in, you know, a pub game somewhere, you could hopefully compensate a little bit. You know, Maybe you have a deck that's set up to, help you out. Like, oh, okay, I was gonna be this, but we really need this role filled because everybody else is kind of being, not too friendly. So
Right.
I'm
Not
just gonna go
receptive.
do this. Yeah. So it's like,
Yeah.
so,
Have you been seeing
and
that at all?
I've definitely had games like that.
Right. Have you been seeing that at all, Tyga?
Any contention or salt?
Salt, yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a weird
Yeah.
thing that happens with PlayStation every so often.
Yeah.
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 Very raw. Right.
Yeah.
Yep. I totally feel that.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Well, and right, right.
Yeah.
Right. 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 Oh.
Oh.
I think they need to take that out. There's two. Okay, before you go into this, there are two things I think base level they need to change for 42 to work. One, they need to remove Kalari's dewarding thing solo. She shouldn't be able to deward by herself. She should be able to deward with somebody else. That's fine. That takes two people. That's two people out of the fight. That's one thing. But by herself, no. Even with things like Thundercleaver, no. Because I remember that being a thing. So no. Take that away. The other thing, or actually two things, is one, fix Countess's scaling a little bit. Like, just a little bit. Fix Countess's scaling just a little bit. And then the other thing is, there's a card that for your basic attack damage gives you shield. Currently, that yeah. Currently,
I believe so.
that works with Wukong's shadows or Wukong's like clones. That needs to be taken off immediately. So like those are the big changes. But go ahead and continue. Like those are the big things I think need to be changed immediately.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Now there's
Well, and
there's
it's super greedy.
There's an upside.
Yeah.
There's an upside to finding all of these I don't want to I guess exploits, right? Where people are really stacking the numbers in their favor kind of a bit ridiculously, right? The upside to this is because we're so fresh into this update, you know that these things are going to get highlighted by the community in mass. So they are going to get looked at. They're going to get touched because they are such big points of contention in the community that they can't be ignored.
Brings me back to Shockwave and Steel. You remember that? Back in Legacy?
Shockwave. Are you talking about with the bouncing
knock-up?
everybody up? Yeah, the knock-up, yeah.
You remember that, Tyga?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. It was a long time ago. It was So yeah, you know how big Steel's ult was and how it knocked you all up? There was a card that did the same thing for the same amount of time.
Yep. So they could double stack it,
you
and
could
then
double
they
stack
could
it on
wombo
Steel,
combo.
and you could keep somebody bounced in the air for, I want to say, 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was something absurd like that.
It was something that was
I don't know.
nerfed immediately,
Yeah.
but like it was that big of a deal. Like it was something that immediately got fixed. That it was so broken that nothing could be done. Yep. Hard. I remember the Yeah. Well, you would sit there and like you could put your controller down, take a drink, and then pick your controller back up, and you would then hit the ground. Like, I remember that. And here's a question. Sorry to get off track. I just thought of this. Controller versus keyboard, because I know you're a PC player, but you also have a PS4. I personally, if I'm on a controller, I like playing melee heroes. Personally, that's a preference. What do you find? Yeah. Right.
Oh, it's hot in here.
Close the door.
Good night.
Right.
I love you. Good night.
Yeah.
Yeah, aim assist. That's been brought up in the subreddit. I believe a couple people have mentioned it. Like nobody really digs the aim assist on controllers, which is weird. I actually have a keyboard and mouse set up for my PS4.
Yeah. I do feel the same thing.
I can't play Paragon with a controller anymore. It feels weird now.
But.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is considerably nicer.
Right. Right. And it's one of those things that I know I'm on console, so I relegate myself to the melee heroes. And so that relegates me into, like, I have to play either Yin or Seraph if I want to play carry. Or maybe even now with V42, I can play Greystone, just in case. Like, it relegates me into those, but that's something I'm okay with, because it kind of brings your mechanics back in a little bit, and you can kind of refocus it. So I'm a little bit more structured in my playstyle with those heroes, because it is a little bit more structured on, I know exactly what I can do. And then I can either augment that with my...
Yeah, there's not as much precision required.
Right.
So.
It's much more limited, so I know what my options for outplay are a little bit different from the average. So I have a little bit more control over, these are the things that I know that I can do to outplay somebody, and it's much more limited, but at the same time I enjoy that as a player. Like, I enjoy that I know I can build towards these things, and these are the options that I have.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and say we are well over time. So we should probably get close to wrapping up here. Yep.
We are a little bit over time, but we were having a good time, so I was
gonna say something a little bit earlier, but I just kind of let the conversation go. However, we probably do want to cut it here pretty soon.
Yep. But so, any wrap-up thoughts on Paragon or anything we've talked about? Start off with Taiga. Ooh. I will have to try that.
That sounds interesting. That does. Okay. Okay.
Oh. Yeah, it's you take damage and they take damage, but like you can mitigate it. Ooh, that sounds interesting. That sounds
Okay.
That sounds dirty, man. That sounds dirty. I will, totally.
All right.
Mhm. 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 Oh. Mhm. Mhm. Right. Mhm. Right on. Yep. Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Mhm. Yeah, I totally get that.
Nah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Sonic Screwdriver, man. Doctor Who, hell yeah. Right?
That's
That's the
kind of the
total
whole
design.
the
Total
premise
design.
of this
Yeah.
podcast is just that, man.
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, I'm gonna put this out in the universe so anybody watching can hear it. I'm gonna put this out in the universe because we've been in talks. Hopefully, I can get Frozen Balls on. He's been We've been in contact. We've been talking to hopefully get him on. So hopefully, Frozen Balls is gonna be on. I've been talking with Covert to see if I can get him on as well. There's lots of things in the works. We got lots of things behind the scenes going on. Talking with lots of people. But
We'll talk about that stuff later.
right? Any final thoughts, Shotface?
No, I'm gonna be in Indianapolis for the weekend having a damn good time. So, I really can't think about anything else. I actually have to pack tonight, which is
Drinking
part
beer
of
at
why I mentioned the
Scotty's
time.
and playing D&D with a whole bunch of nerds in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I will. I usually do. I go every year.
I'm actually kind of sad I couldn't go because I went last year. We went to Indianapolis' most famous steakhouse, St. Elmo's.
Yep.
Oh my god, that place is amazing. But my closing thoughts are just, I'm excited to see what the future has for all the games we've talked about. Warframe, I know, has a very bright future with the Plains of Eidolon. Very interesting new gameplay type stuff. They are getting ready to talk to us a little bit more about it with a dev stream tomorrow. So tune in at, what is it, noon or 2 o'clock?
It's 2 o'clock Eastern.
2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so go ahead and tune in that on the
at Play Warframe.
at Play Warframe on Twitch. They are going to show off a lot of cool new stuff. Fortnite, I hope they have a good, like, they've taken in a lot of what the community has said because the community is giving them a lot of feedback. I hope they take a lot of that to heart and kind of change up some of their monetization systems to make it a little bit more consumer friendly. And Paragon, we have a ton of fun. That's what I've heard from everybody I've talked to about the update is it's a ton of fun. We just need a little bit more balanced stuff. So maybe give it a little bit of time, have a little bit more balance, but hopefully the future looks bright for all of these games and it is a great time to be a gamer. As always, thank you guys for watching. This has been the Tenno Two Drink Minimum with the Console Casuals. I am Cazz, one half of the Console Casuals. Tonight I have been joined by...
Just ShotFace. Nothing special tonight. Just ShotFace.
See, I've crushed your will. Like, that one night, like, I didn't let you have it.
I can't do the jokes
crushed it.
anymore. I don't know. I just can't do the jokes anymore. I gotta let it go.
Shotface and our very special guest, Mr. TygaStripe.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for coming on.
Alright.
Right on, man. It'd be great to have you on again.
We'll talk about that.
We will totally talk about that. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more of this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button just below the screen. That will get you subscribed. And also hit the little bell that will let you notified every Thursday at roughly 8:30 EST. Every time we go live, an hour after prime time. So that's how you also know. as well as we may be starting up our some other stuff during the week, maybe doing some extra special stuff. I know we have to talk with some other content creators, possibly getting them on. You've heard a little sneak peek of that stuff here, but thank you guys for watching. As always, keep it cool, keep it casual. Thanks, guys.